Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Happy New Year. Today is Wednesday, January 4th, 2017. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. In 2017, the Nevis Island Administration resolves to continue in its effort to provide a government of partnership in order to ensure political and socio-economic development and stability. So noted Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Amory, in his New Year message.
We will commit ourselves to providing prosperity through job creation and business expansion. We will spare no effort in continuing to provide an environment which will give all of our people the opportunity to realize their dreams and their full potential. In the new year, we will continue to embrace our responsibility of caring for the elderly, the sick, the indigent, and for our young people. We will challenge ourselves to improve the overall quality of life as reflected in infrastructure development, health services, housing, crime reduction, and education, among other things.
In the year ahead, the Premier said his government must address the new concerns that have arisen while remaining steadfast in its commitment to putting the island on a development path of inclusive and sustainable growth. He added that 2017 promises to be an exciting year for private sector direct investment on the island.
Your Nevis Island Administration has already made significant progress in attracting three upscale hotels to the island of Nevis. We have received the proposals from serious developers. And here I speak of the Northern Point Resort development at Portworks Estate, which will be a high-end resort with an estimated construction cost of US $160 million, with a capacity of 150 rooms upon completion, and the ability to hire some 200 people here in Nevis. I speak also of the Oasis Resort, another upscale resort with an estimated construction cost of $40 million US, and it's expected on completion to provide jobs for 100 people here in Nevis. The Spring Air Condominium Resort development at Spring Hill Estate is a third resort and will consist of 150 rooms. The development will have all of the amenities of a high-end, high-quality tourism resort.
Premier Amory used the opportunity to thank all of the investors for what he said is their invaluable contribution to tourism and the economy of the island. Meantime, leader of the opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honorable Joseph Parry, like other political leaders on January 1st, delivered an address to usher in the new year. In his 20-minute address, Parry largely focused on the notion that 2017 is an election year and made a pitch for his Nevis Reformation Party, NRP, to be re-elected to office.
There will be a Nevis election in the new year. Are you ready for this? NRP is not only ready for an election, we are ready to run government, to have a government in Nevis again. A die-hard opponent of NRP said the other day, nothing is happening in Nevis, but the NRP is not ready. I can only advise him to read the book of Proverbs in the Holy Bible.
The NRP leader said his party was hurt by the fact that Nevis was being run as if it were pre-colonial times, something that his party fought to overcome in the 70s.
And Nevis is again managed from the ministry called the Ministry of Nevis Affairs, based in Bar-Stair. Is this the legacy of Ivor? Of NRP? No, it is not. The rest of the Caribbean has consolidated the gains of their freedom fighters. Only Nevis has gone from whence it came. Only the CCM has been capable of expressing by their very actions a vote of no confidence in the ability of Nevisians to run their own affairs on Nevis.
The Honorable Joseph Parry used his New Year address to outline a 10-point plan that will be used if or when his Nevis Reformation Party is re-elected.
In this new dispensation, I promise you that the NRP will immediately do a number of things. Firstly, we'll start a three-pronged attack on crime. We'll work with the police to protect every resident on the island of Nevis 24 hours a day. We will create jobs immediately for the most vulnerable persons in Nevis to keep them off the streets and out of trouble. The school system will be required to work along with parents and the community to solve the problems of poor discipline, delinquency, and every sign and early signs of criminal behavior.
Other issues covered in the 10-point plan include another hotel for the island, upgrade of the hospital, and a pledge to work amicably with any federal government.
7. We shall seek to build up the Nevis Island administration to a level where the people of Nevis, when they're ready, can hold a referendum to determine their destiny, their future.
More points in the plan look at the establishment of a public accounts committee and other matters to maintain the integrity of the Nevis Island administration. Prime Minister of the Federation, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, is projecting that 2017 will be a year of growth and resilience for St. Kitts and Nevis.
Growth and resilience are not ends in themselves, but they are critical to our socioeconomic security, the provision of high-paying jobs, and new opportunities for our young people in particular.
Prime Minister Harris said each citizen and resident must play an active role in nation building and pledged the commitment of his Team Unity administration to work steadfastly for Kittitians and Nevisians.
We encourage our people to work smartly, to seize opportunities and empower themselves. Working together constructively and in unity, we will accomplish much and build on the strong foundation laid over the past 23 months of our administration to make our country better and fairer for all.
The Prime Minister noted as well that balance is important in shaping and building a society and informed the populace that his cabinet had reached out to the religious community for it to play a greater role in the country's development.
I look to everyone of faith, particularly our Christian leadership, to take an active part in bringing our people together, inspiring community spirit, and engendering a keener sense of holistic well-being. When people work together, they live better together. Let the bonds of enduring friendship and collaboration become the glue that holds our society together, because we know where there is cohesion, there is progress.
Prime Minister Harris added that his government intends to build a more ennobling society. This task is for each and every one. Parents must rise to the challenge of providing for their children and by their instruction and example guide them on the path to responsible and productive citizenship. Still to come.
We use this opportunity to ask God for His continued protection, mercy, and guidance for the men and women of the Nevis Division.
The details after this break.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free health care at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. Division C, the Nevis Division of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, held its New Year's celebration service today, Wednesday, January 4th, at the Charlestown Police Station.
We use this opportunity to ask God for His continued protection, mercy, and guidance for the men and women of the Nevis Division, who put their lives on the line on a daily basis in an effort to serve and protect the citizens of this federation. We also use this opportunity to keep officers motivated, encouraged, and focused on the job, especially junior officers who have to perform that arduous task of keeping the citizens safe, because we know that their safety is our priority.
The service received opening remarks by Superintendent Trevor Mills. Also in attendance was Commissioner of Police Ian Quealy.
So in performing our mission, we must preserve and defend our core values. We must be dedicated to the Constitution of our Federation. And by saying that, we mean that our people, all of our citizens, have rights, privileges, and we must respect people's rights and privileges, but we will deal with them according to law. So I want us to work within the ambit of the law. We must have respect and dignity for those we protect. We must be compassionate. We must be fair at all times. We must not instill fear, but we must be fair in our dealings. Very balanced approach that we'll be looking for. We must be firm at all times, and we must practice uncompromising personal and institutional integrity. And so it's from that perspective, if we have a look at our core values, those will be guiding principles to enable us to be more efficient in the delivery of service that we intend to take to this year.
The feature address was delivered by Jennifer Hodge. A delegation headed by Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, Minister responsible for Finance and a member of the Monetary Council of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, was in Castro, St. Lucia today, Wednesday, January 4th, to attend the state funeral of the late Sir K. Dwight Venner. The funeral was held at the Minor Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, and many representatives from regional and international banking institutions, government, and the private sector were in attendance. Sir Dwight Venner served as governor of the ECCB during the period 1989 to 2015. He was well known in news media circles for his genuine cooperation with regional media, providing numerous occasions and press conferences where he answered questions and explained the impact of global circumstances on the economies of the OECS member countries. Venner brought a real sense of regionalism to bear, not only through the institution of the ECCB, but also in his personal outlook. He is also noted for strengthening the ECCB and building it into a first-class central bank and financial advisory body for governments of OECS member countries. All flags at the ECCB have been flown at half-mast since December 23, 2016, and were to continue until sundown Wednesday, January 4th. Also, the fountain at the ECCB headquarters has been stilled and was to remain so until sundown Wednesday, January 4th. Further, a memorial service in St. Kitts and Nevis is being contemplated for a later date in January 2017. And that brings us to the end of tonight's presentation of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Good night.